It's probably one of the most amazing feelings next to, being inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Because, making music, all I ever wanted to do was win a Grammy.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
what every artist.
This feels bigger than winning a Grammy to me.
Yeah.
And winning a Grammy is pretty hard.
Yeah.
It seems pretty hard to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It feels like, looking at it, somebody might say I could do that.
Right.
But looking at it, it seems hard even for me to even look at it. Wow. It's just like one of them situations. And just to, the way they did it, the way they made it, where it's actually something that you can read and it's readable and watching and you learn stuff from looking at it. It's pretty crazy. Well, I think, the most interesting part about it is that it actually tells a real story. Mm-hmm. It shows the energy and the synergy inside the city of Atlanta, right, and how long this city has had this type of whirlwind going. Right. And some kind of way I got caught in that whirlwind and created my own whirlwind, and other people got caught in that, and that's basically what's actually happening in Atlanta. So that the wall that you see when you first come into the full floor is probably the most exciting to me. Right. And it's the most informative.
Record and
yeah, it was fast. It wasn't really, it was once we got what we was looking for, it was pretty fun. It was a day session.
Really?
Yeah. It was, matter of fact, it wasn't even a day, it was less than 24 hours.
And just to be correct, that was the record with Mariah, correct?
Yeah, We Belong Together.
Yep. And so, I believe I was looking online, they said that's one of the top 10 songs of like what was it, last decade or something like that?
Well, it was the song of the decade.
Right.
And then I guess they put out the greatest songs of all time, and I think it's in the top 10 or something like that.
That must feel incredible, right?
It's pretty amazing that, she had you gotta think about, when I met Mariah, she was the biggest artist at Columbia Records.
Right.
So I never thought one day I would have a record that was part of her, greatness. Right. I thought I could do a little remix or something here and there, but I never saw that coming.
Right.
Just having fun, just being able to, the recording process for that album is, I wish we had social media.
Right.
At that time, I did a song with DMX, I had a song with Lil Kim and Mace. I was just having this conversation with that guy over there, Big John, the Big Dog, he told me, I played him the song with Brat and Crazy Bone. He told me he heard that. He said, "That's it."
Yeah, I mean,
it's a bunch of records that that I did on the album that I never made ever again. You know what I mean? Like, project or artists I never worked with again after that album. So it's a lot of interesting collaborations.
Yeah, when you look at your catalog, I felt like that one really stood out.
Oh yeah, of course.
And as a youngster coming up, that was the album where you're like, yeah, JD.
I mean, like I said, it had everybody. You know what I mean? It had I created like a cartoon comic book song called The Protectors of 1472, which was Snoop Dogg and the whole West Coast crew.
Yeah.
And in my mind, they were like my gang that was guarding the life.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like living in this world, and I'm creating these songs, and it's interesting that everybody was just going along with. Like I'm saying, like I'm not a full-time rapper, right? But I rap well enough to do songs with DMX, Jay-Z, Mace, you know, I had damn near everybody that was, you know, somebody to be heard. Nas starts my album out, by the way. Right. So, you know, to have all of these guys that people call legends and people call kings and whatever you want to be on my album, that's definitely the classic. Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like it's good. I just feel like they haven't had the tutelage of a lot of other people, you know. I remember watching something or even hearing Biggie say something about when him and Puff started making records, he wanted to make all these street records. And Puff told him, you know, that's cool for New York, but we need to get out the tri-state. And Puff saying that made his mind expand and made him start thinking bigger and wider and trying to do things. He said when he rapped on the Juicy beat, he ain't even like it. He just did it because Puff was telling him, we need this. And, you know, just imagine if some of these other artists that are being successful right now had a person to tell them that same thing.
Such as yourself, maybe?
Anybody, you know, just anybody that could step in and say, you hot right now. Yeah. You got it. But we need we need to do something just a little bit bigger, right? Or we need to do something that's just gonna, whatever, right? Ain't no telling what could possibly happen.
Right. That's dope, man. So are there any artists that stand out to you in your mind, though, that you kind of like listening to now, maybe on Spotify or anything, or iTunes? Amina, okay, yeah.
He hard to me. Corday, he's super hard to me. Lil Baby, of course. Right. It's a lot. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Cool. I'm
listening to him. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
I feel like 6 Black is a rapper too. He just sings, but I like 6 Black's new album. I like his new album. It's really just it's something that we always wanted to do. And then we did a 20th anniversary concert prior, where we got a little bit of a taste of this. But Escape actually ignited this mindset because they went on tour. Right. And the way I saw people acting about them and people wanting to be at their tour, and then they did the Essence Fest, and Essence, you know, didn't put them on the main stage, and they put them in this little room, and the room was oversold, and people was complaining that they didn't get a chance to see Escape. And I was just so excited about seeing them finally get that praising and that type of effect about their music. You know, I always wanted that for them, but it was a lot of challenges when we first started making these records, because people looked at them as like younger R&B, and they, you know, R&B at the time wasn't a young thing, and young artists in R&B didn't get no play. Right. Yeah. So. Okay. That's cool. I mean, they got play, but they ain't get that top line rollout.
It's funny because it feels like the '90s R&B groups are all getting their second run around here. You know what I mean? And kind of getting their chance to make their money again. It's good to see that.
Yeah, that's a dope. I mean, well, BBD been doing it for the longest, so. Right. Yeah.
And like, can you?
It almost sounds unreal, the way Freaknik actually looked, and the way the city moved, and the energy that was going on in the city. I don't know that it's anything that's, you know, remotely close to that, besides like All-Star Weekend maybe, in some city crazy like Houston or something. But this was in Atlanta, and this is on the streets of Peachtree, and you know, when Freaknik was at its height, and Atlanta police didn't stop it, you've never seen anything like this, where people were just out on top of their cars. It was like almost like we were in a championship. It was like, but it was just celebrating a weekend. Right. It's crazy. Yeah.
A lot of stuff we can't talk about on camera.
Yeah, I mean, well, you can, but I mean, it was just a bunch of the beginning of a lot of things. You know what I mean? And it was the beginning of the culture of Atlanta spilling the way that it is now.
Right.
That's what it is. Like that was something that these kids created at the AUC Center, and it just spilled over into Peachtree, and it spilled over into Buckhead, and then it just took over.
Right.
Yeah.
This is cool to hear it from your eyes. You know?
Nah, it's crazy.
That's wild.
Well, I mean, they're here. They,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of devastating because they basically started my end to all of this. You know what I mean? They were, when we talk about Grammys, my first Grammy nomination was at 19.
Yeah.
It was Jump. I was 19 years old. You know what I mean? And it's because of them. So, when I look at it, I think about all of that. Yeah, it's devastating.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
But at the same time, it's history.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
They're such a part of the culture. I mean, even as a kid, we were wearing our pants backwards and all that. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's really been anything like it since. So, we just wanted to close with that and just say props. And thank you so much for bringing them along and all the other music. And
appreciate it.
Just thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, bro.
All right.